And we're live.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, we're live.
Are we?
Yeah. We
Oh,
got the clock counting and everything.
okay. Hi. It is Maria Quattrone from Remax at Home and Be the Solution. And today I have on my friend and guest, Heather Petrone-Shook from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And today we're going to talk about being the solution, all things real estate.
That's right.
How
And
are you,
don't
Heather?
I'm good. Don't let the background fool you. I have not hit a brick wall. All right.
Not yet, right?
I'm just, you know what? I have tried to perfect my background, my backdrops and everything for all these Zoom meetings and social media meetings. So I'm working on my backdrop. Today it's just it's a Philly brick wall. So
I love it.
and so I
I
chose
said,
today.
"Where are you?" And I knew you weren't in your patio because it's 42 degrees out. So,
Oh, I would love to be on my patio, except for let's see, what about an hour and a half ago there was what I thought was little styrofoam balls blowing around my backyard.
oh, hail.
It was not quite hail, but not quite snow. I don't know what we would call it. We'd have to call John Bolaris on that one.
We could dial him up right now.
Ask him what those things were that were in my backyard.
That's crazy. Dara said, I was just on a call with her with a client. We had a call with some investor clients of ours, and she said it was snowing in Cherry Hill.
Yeah, and it was a weird snow. Hey Jenna, how are you? It's crazy.
I,
It's absolutely insane the weather that's happening. And yesterday was beautiful. I actually got outside and got some vitamin D, you know, by walking out on my front patio. And now, you know, it's snowing in my backyard. So my sofa is clear across the deck. My Adirondack chairs are all blown around.
ah,
So yeah.
yeah, Chip went up on the roof yesterday
Hmm.
or the day before. He scrubbed everything down. He didn't do the power washing yet, but he scrubbed everything down, got all the furniture ready, and then it started to rain. So I didn't go up there. And then I heard it all moving around. So
Oh, you
we shall
try.
see. We shall see. We'll see what the weekend brings.
Yeah.
It's Good
Well,
Friday today, which is crazy to me that I don't have any Easter plants in the house and there's none to be found. And
I have my Easter plants every year. We would plant them in my front garden. So I've been watching the Easter flowers come up over the last couple weeks. Hey Pam, hey Lisa, and it's just one of those things. Just
hi,
walking out
Pam.
front and seeing them. It's been a little bit of bright sunshine to watch tulips come up and everything. So this afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'll be streaming the local St. Bridget's Church here in East Falls. I'll stream on my TV from Facebook the mass at 3 o'clock. So
What channel's that on?
it's not they so from Facebook, you
Oh,
actually with my iPhone I can stream it to my television. So
and that's St. Bridget's?
yep, St. Bridget's Catholic Church in East Falls.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
like
they
that church.
yeah,
I
it's
haven't
oh
been there in years. The last time I was there, my friend had her son christened there, and that was probably a decade ago. But
yep. I'm a little biased. It's the church my father was baptized in, I was baptized in, my grandfather was baptized in. So 3 generations.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's good time. Listen,
I'm sad
it's
not to be
local.
going to mass this weekend. I'll say that.
Yeah, but Maria, you have no excuse. You can go to mass.
I am going to on the Vatican at the Vatican.
See? There's no
I
excuse.
no excuse. We'll have something streaming for sure. The cathedral has 11 a.m. streaming on Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm loving all the seders that are happening on that I can see on Facebook and watching all the families get together, even if they can't be together in person, being on Facebook or FaceTime or Zoom calls together.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving it. I'm
What
loving
are you
seeing
doing?
that. We're gonna have a FaceTime with we're gonna have a FaceTime virtual egg hunt. Not quite sure how that's gonna work out, but the nieces will enjoy that. And then we'll have FaceTime probably with my in-laws side and then My mother has been quarantined with us, so we'll actually have Easter with her.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah.
Are you cooking?
No, no, thankfully not. She'll take care of all of that.
Oh, what is she gonna make?
It's ham, of course. She's got the spiral ham. We already ordered it, and it's already in place. And I don't know what else she's making with it, but whatever it is, it'll work. And I just, it's trying to figure out if there's, we have a couple neighbors in the neighborhood that, we drop off meals to, who we know are by themselves, which is tough. And that's probably one of the hardest things is when you know somebody who's alone, even though no matter what age they are. Today my husband and I are going to sneak out and with some sidewalk chalk and write a happy birthday message to one of the neighbors that we know it's their birthday today, and we know that they live alone. So we're gonna
Oh,
we're gonna graffiti
that's so sweet.
on their sidewalk with some sidewalk chalk. So
That's so sweet.
yeah, it's insane. I mean, I'm usually a big birthday celebrator, and I mean, I had a whole party bus planned and a whole, crazy weekend planned, and everything got canceled. Which is totally understandable, but it was kind of like the first time where I was like, wow, I'm not really doing anything for my birthday.
When was it?
It was April 1st, which if
How-
anybody does the math, they look
I know
April
I
Fools.
messaged you that. I don't know why I
Yeah,
just messaged you that.
okay, it makes perfect sense. April Fools
April Fools. That
and
was my
me.
grandfather's birthday too.
It's the best
April
day.
Fools. That's crazy.
The best.
I'm
It's the best
sorry.
day. No,
Celebrate.
listen. It is what it is.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
Pam. It's one of those things. Sidewalk chalk. I'm actually gonna, stop by. So one of the kids in the neighborhood, we have 4 garages, and we had them cemented probably about 2 years ago, and it's flat and it's all nice. So I said to one of the mothers walking by, I was like, listen, if you have some sidewalk chalk, this is a big pallet. And I came down the other day and the kids had drawn some stuff on the sidewalk. So,
So are you
yeah,
borrowing their chalk or do you have your
no,
own?
I had my husband pick up before the whole thing happened. I said, get some sidewalk chalk. I don't even know why I said it, but he picked up some sidewalk chalk a couple weeks ago. So, and
I don't have any, but my neighbors' children, they have made beautiful drawings all over with
yeah,
the sidewalk chalk. So probably about like 3 houses long. We live in a townhouse and
in its
garage unit.
development.
So
Well,
we don't
and that's
we don't have any, yard or anything like that. So the kids are all the kids have been outside playing, not together, but together within their with their kids, their brothers and sisters. Oh, do you know today's National Sibling Day?
is it? Oh, I have
Yes,
to
it
say, I like my brothers today.
is.
Wait,
I
I
try to
don't have to
get
buy them
new
a gift, do I?
huh?
Oh, you know what? That's actually funny. You work with your sibling as well as I work with my sibling.
How does that go?
Oh, well, first of all, he's older. For the record, he is older than I am. I am not the oldest. He is the oldest, but I'm in charge.
But you're in charge, of
I'm in
course.
charge. I'm in charge, but he's the oldest,
What
and
does he do?
he's in real estate.
I mean, does he sell or is he back office support or?
No, no, he
Yep.
works. He runs the rental department, so he completely runs that on his own. He's got that down to a science, and he's really good at it. And well, obviously invests in real estate. Every real estate agent should be investing in what they sell, but and he also does sales too. So he does both. He handles a lot of our investors.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
How's he doing?
he's good. He's doing good. Unfortunately, he left the top down the other night in the rain, and he didn't realize it was going to rain. So he's dealing with a little bit of a short shorting out of his electric system in his
Oh
car.
God,
Yeah.
that's
So
that's terrible.
well, thankfully we don't have to go anywhere. And much like a traditional Philly family, he lives 4 blocks away. So
Oh,
if he really needs a car, he can come get one of ours. You know, which is not a big deal. So that's one of the great things. I mean, we have all of our keys are in one area. So if you ever need a vehicle, everybody knows where to find the keys.
that's funny.
But how
So
Oh, it's
old
old
school.
school. Yeah, I mean, well, from my living room, I can see into my mother's house. My aunt lives up the block. My grandmother was down the block. My brother's, 3 blocks, 4 blocks away. So
That's so nice.
yeah, it's a little bit.
Well, a lot of, not a lot of people do that anymore.
Oh, we got a question from Pam about business. Ooh, prospecting, handling biz. That's a good one. So, how are we prospecting and handling biz? So, I've turned a lot of it to virtual. I've done a lot of virtual touches. And even when somebody says, "Hey, let's get on a phone call," I'll try and get it to a Zoom call so I can have a face to face. That's been one thing. Trying to do some reach out in the area. Obviously I'm still able to get out and I'm not, knock on wood, I'm still fine. So if there's anything, picking up trash in the area, saying hey to people, let's just be nice to one another too. Maybe where you would have shunned somebody and not even looked at them, yell across the street and say hi. Be friendly. Also reaching out to my contacts and just asking them how they're doing, because I am concerned. I'm concerned in making sure that my past clients are okay. Is there anything I can do? I've got, and I'm sure you too, and everybody out there, you have a lot of first responders, in the business, or people on the front line. Check in with them, see if there's anything that you can do. I mean, we have a great sphere of influence. I'm watching people take out sewing machines and use the sewing machines for masks and making things for other people. I mean, that just, my heart just completely melts when I see that. I mean, I have a sewing machine, I have no idea how to use it. So, I'm about to offer that up, that if somebody knows how to use a sewing machine, you can have mine and do good with it. I'm just trying to keep my mental state in mind too, Pam. Make sure you do that. You know, we're all going to get through this and we'll come out on the other side. So just talk to people and keep touching people, and, keeping, talk to them on a human level. It's not always about business.
Right. Yeah, we've been reaching out to our client, well, all of our active clients. We've already taken care of all of them. Our obviously our pending files, clients, and making sure everybody's getting to the table. That's really the most important right now, because we don't want to have people displaced with nowhere to go. And then our past clients, calling them just to see how they're doing. We don't talk about real estate. If somebody asks about it, because people right now, we've noticed where we would have, excuse me, a 10-minute conversation, it might now be a half an hour. People want to talk. They're at home. And a lot of people are really interested in what's going on in the real estate world. So we'll bring them up to date and let them know, what we're doing in regards to how we're handling virtual showings, virtual walkthroughs, virtual staging, everything that we could do in person, virtually. It's funny because, Heather, about 50% of my appointments were always on the phone, because a lot of my clients either, maybe it's an investment property or they don't live in the area. Obviously, if it's somebody that's, 3 blocks away, it's not usually on the phone. But so I just went from doing phone calls to Zoom with everybody.
I like Zoom. I mean,
I like Zoom,
I
but
should have bought stock in Zoom months ago.
we should have all bought stock in Zoom. I'm a little getting zoomed out, though. I'm a little tired of staring at myself all day long.
Well, I've come to, like I said, I've come to the point where I've changed my background so much that I have now a slew of just Zoom backgrounds. When I was on a happy hour.
Okay, you have to show me how to do it, because I've been asking for this to be done, and it's got driving me a little cuckoo, because I'm in a bedroom, but it's not a bedroom. It's an office closet. So behind me is the closet part, like it's an L-shaped closet, and this whole side of the room is an office. So I have, like, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 12 shelves full of books and pretty things like my Yadros, and just like special little things, pictures and sayings that are in in little picture frames. So it's real pretty, and I have candles, but the background is like clothes, gowns and stuff or stuff, summer clothes and shoes, different, the stuff you don't wear. I don't wear every day. I
Not your
swear.
business attire.
Yeah, well, I put a pair of pants on today.
That's
Uh,
a goal. That is a goal. Is to put
no,
on.
not
Wait, one with
work
zipper and a
pants.
button.
Work pants.
Oh.
and they're a little tight. So I'm like, fudge. I'm like, okay, I got to get out the boxing gloves and start like air boxing or have Chip hold them up.
So you do the paddles. Oh my god! See, and
I
that's so
have
exciting.
all that, and I'm going
Well,
to use it starting tomorrow.
okay, tomorrow's your day. So
You
next
can
week,
even check
everybody,
on me
we
on
have to check in with Maria and see how many times she's gone and how many rounds.
yes. Let's see if I can make like 10. That will be. I'm
That,
going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. I'm doing this though tomorrow because I am not buying any new clothes. In fact,
no.
I like to get rid of the ones I have and buy new ones because they're a smaller size. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Actually, Pam brought up a good point because you can load any picture to a virtual background. So what I've been doing is when I'm doing showings, the house will be behind me. So I'll have the house when they log on to Zoom.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I had that last night, and the other day when I did it for the first time, I get on with the seller and the seller's, I'm here. She's, where are you? And I said, what do you mean? She goes, I'm out front and so are you, but I don't see you.
I love it. Heather, that is fantastic.
And I said, well, I'm in my dining room, but I put a picture of your house because of course you want to you want to keep it, in the
And you
mind of the
you pulled it right
person.
up of Google?
No, actually, so I use Canva.
Uh-huh.
And on Canva, I made a template and then it just went from there. I mean, it just rolled from there.
That is so cute. I love
But
that idea.
I started making ones that said like today is, because if I'm on a Zoom call and I don't
I
remember what
saw
today
that
is,
on
so
Monday. You had
mhm.
on G Pro, you had today is Monday.
Yes,
I'm
today is
like,
Monday.
it's reminding us all what today is. Thank you.
Listen, we've all been there. How many people have woken up and thought it was a different day and realized? I mean, we have
I
a
thought it
meal.
was Saturday today.
We
So,
have a meal chart. So the only way I know what day it is what did I eat yesterday for dinner?
well, like, do you have like a blackboard on your fridge or something?
No, so the uh, back when we were allowed to socialize, you could go to those paint board and brush places, and I created the menu board and out of wood and has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I have little index cards that we put up like what are we doing, and it's planning ahead because
Mm.
we would often find ourselves like you know as well as I do, we could easily work till 9, 10 o'clock at night, turn around and just be like, what do you want to do for dinner? And nothing has been prepared. 3/4 of the time end up eating out. That wasn't working, so we try to make it a point that we sit down on Sunday and we plan out the week. It's been it's been a little interesting because usually I would have appointments at night or something and I'd say, okay, well, we'd have to do something in the crock pot this night. Yeah, well, now it's kind of sort of like that, except that I'm still in the house with the appointments. So last night I was on appointments and my husband brought dinner down to me. So, but
You were
yeah,
still working?
oh yeah, but you have to plan ahead though. You absolutely have to plan ahead.
Yeah, every morning we talk about what we're going to have for dinner. This week we had chicken every single day, but chicken prepared in all different fashions.
Oh, right. So,
Chicken Dijon, chicken parm, chicken saltimbocca.
oh, can I come to
I
your
made it last
restaurant?
night. It was fabulous.
See, and I'm all about if we can, let's try one pot. That was our goal for one week was let's do something where we don't dirty any more than one pot because in all honesty, the hardest working employee in our house right now is our dishwasher. I mean, I actually made a diploma for it and said, it's
You're so
employee of the
funny.
month. I mean, it deserves it. It absolutely deserves it. And yes, Dion, I agree. That's a lot of chicken.
That's a lot of chicken. But
You
my
got
husband had bought so many chicken breasts, and they were in the freezer. And I knew we were getting a delivery today. I'm like, oh, we got to eat this chicken.
yeah, that is a
There's
lot
too
of
much
chicken.
chicken. So
That's a
there's
lot
not
of
going to be no
chicken.
more chicken for 5 days. No more chicken.
Well, then
I'm making, hmm?
you got to try and mix it up.
I'm making gluten-free lasagna for Easter and a cheesecake.
Gluten-free lasagna. How the heck does that work?
It's so good. I
Gluten-free.
have really good noodles. I got it from
Okay.
Claudio's
All
on
right.
9th Street.
Well, so okay, I think that's where it's all at is in the noodles.
It is. And these
Biggest
are
in the
the real,
noodles.
they actually taste like real. I
Interesting.
found the best pasta, gluten-free.
All right, so that's a goal because I've tried the chickpea pasta, which I'm okay with, and I love quinoa. I have no problem with it, but that's the only thing I can't do is when working with pasta, it's like, ugh. Oh, Jenna, I hear you. My dishwasher, I swear, I will call, Home Depot or Lowe's and have that thing delivered, and I will watch YouTube videos to install it myself if I have to.
But
Yeah,
definitely you're making a lot. I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at
oh
home.
yeah.
If you
And
eat
and
3 meals.
trying to cut down on waste, as much as we possibly can. So we actually have one of the days on our board is always, it's not leftovers, I call it right overs because left always, gets preferred over right. So we have right overs, and we try and clean out the fridge before it gets, too crazy. But
Yeah.
my newest thing is Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are my go-to vegetable. So we always have Brussels sprouts in our refrigerator
Yeah, we eat them cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli,
all the time.
spinach. Every day we have green veggies. Really good about eating greens and not a lot of not a lot of rice or potatoes or pasta, like once a week that. And then the rest of the nights it's always veggies and either fish or meat. So
Yeah. See, and I don't do a lot of potatoes either, but then I drink vodka. So then I don't know.
well, then we have that. That's another story. So what can we be doing, Heather? What are you seeing in the real estate world? I mean, we now know that we're non-essential still.
We are still non-essential. That is correct. But I think we're learning at ways to adapt. I think agents are starting to adapt, which I really like.
Totally.
I don't know how many of you have seen the 3D tours that, are popping up everywhere, but 3D tours are the shizzle, in my opinion. I've used them on a few properties of mine even before the shutdown, and I always thought it was really kind of cool. I was also the kid who would take out the Sunday paper, and when Alan Dom would post his penthouse footprints and floor plans, I wasn't reading the comics. I was taking a pen and pretending I was walking through the properties as a kid.
Oh,
So the
you're
3D tours,
you're real estate for life.
I was born in it.
Yep.
My parents started the company in between the year between when my brothers were born and when I was born. So
It's so cool.
yeah. So I grew up in the real estate office, you know. So
Literally.
yeah, no, literally. It was oftentimes where, I mean, at age 10 I was answering the phone. 12 I was on the typewriter. That's back when the agreement of sale was on a typewriter and had carbon paper in between,
Yep.
you know. Most of my years were spent using whiteout in the liquid bottle.
Do you remember when people had to come into the office to sign a contract? Or you had to go
Dude,
to their house? Like
oh,
to
that was
sign, you had to make an appointment for a buyer to come in to sign an offer.
well, wait a second. How long did
It
you
wasn't
wait at
that long ago.
the fax machine? You would wait at the fax machine for the
Yeah.
offer to come through.
Is it there? Is it there? Back and forth, back and
Oh
forth,
yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah. And you had to get a dedicated phone line for the AOL log on.
We're so fortunate, Heather, that we have been really virtual for a long time.
Well,
I mean, if you think about it, our business have been virtual. We have our phones, right? Our
you mean our
phone
mini computers?
go anywhere, go everywhere with us.
Yeah. I mean,
We
who
take it
remembers the
everywhere.
printer?
We text, we email, we take pictures. Now it's just adapting to the new way. I mean, we started doing the 3D virtual walkthroughs back in August. We went to a Remax, worker owner convention. My husband's like, we should get this camera.
Did you get the
I'm like,
camera?
yeah, we have a
Oh,
camera.
okay. So you've invested. That's
Yeah, we
good.
did that in August. So we've been doing them, not for every property, only for like
Right.
not higher end, but not for like the shells. But now I told him about when this started, I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said, I want you to go out and get everything that we have in inventory. I want a 3D video tour on.
Yeah.
So it's really different. The walkthroughs are different than a virtual tour. Like in a virtual tour is you can't get the feeling of being in the house.
Well, so the walkthrough, so the difference, the walkthrough tour with the video, with the gimbal, I've got my gimbal on my desk here, which I'll take out later today on my walk. But you've got, that you get like a flow, but the 3D tour is much like how we search streets with Google Maps,
Right. You feel
which
like
is
you're physically there.
correct. It's
And you could
helpful.
you get a sense of the space. Like I was looking online at a property a friend of mine asked me about on Delancey, and I went on and I'm like, oh, there's no 3D. So you can't tell, does the kitchen, because it was a double white house, does the kitchen end here or does it end over here?
Right.
And how does it connect? And where does it, like, where's that back door at? Like you can't get that without that 3D,
I think it's going to change. I think, in my opinion, I think we're going to come out of this with 3D tours and walking tours being almost the norm. And you've already invested, so you've got the camera, so you're already there.
Yeah, we have it. Now we're doing, starting this week, 3D virtual tours on Zoom and doing broker tours. So we're going to start on Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you know how we do like the lunch, the catered lunch. We'll do a register, and sometimes you do a register to win. So we're still going to do a register to win. We're not going to do bring your own lunch.
But what if your lunch is better than my lunch? Will you give me credit?
No, no, you get to win. But so we'll do a gift certificate. I don't know where
Electronic.
they picked.
Right.
My marketing team is working on it, but yeah, we'll do a register to win for like $25 or $50. I mean, why not go and see the house? Come and see the house.
Well, and we've
Probably get like 50 people to come see it.
yeah, we did a virtual. So one of the agents in our art museum office did one, and it was nice because the seller actually did a live Zoom tour of the house too.
Oh, that's cool. They were living in
So
it.
there was interaction, right? And there was interaction, which was nice because somebody could say, "Oh, how long, how old's the roof?" Or, "Can you show me the central air conditioning unit?" Because there are parts even in the 3D tour that you don't often, you know, photograph. You
Sure.
may or may
We're not
not
gonna
have done the
photograph.
basement.
Yeah, we're not
Right.
photographing the heater. Is it a Coleman or?
Right. Is it the
Okay.
garage? Like, do you photograph the garage
Well,
unless
we
it's a
do.
right?
We want to photograph the garage so you can see the depth of it and you can kind of get a
Yeah,
feeling
but
for it.
that's because you're in the city, and that's really important. I'm in the urban suburban, outside the fringe of Center City. So most of our garage has been turned into, family rooms.
Oh, right, right.
And I'm only 5 miles away. So
I know. I could ride my bike to your house.
yeah,
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that, and then I'll wave.
well, I live on top of a hill, so you can stand below and I'll wave to you.
Oh dear, it'll be hard for me to get up the hill.
You can do it, Maria. I have faith in you.
I'm a good biker, but it's been a little while since I've been on the bike, so I'm a little rusty. It's
Well,
been
think of
probably
it this way. It's all downhill on your way home.
no. We do the loop. I mean, we haven't done it. I'm hoping that this week is nice, and I'm going to schedule some time to get on the bike and do the loop. And from our house and back, it's 12 miles.
That's not bad at all.
So that's a nice. It's like an hour, depending. I could do it in less once I'm like up and running good, or it could be an hour and 10 if I'm really slow. So we'll have to see.
Well, they also have
Otherwise,
MLK wide open.
hmm?
MLK's wide open.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't go where when there's no people, so I don't want to do it on the weekend.
right. Well, it's
Stay
supposed to be
away.
nice. I heard that we're supposed to hit 70 degrees
When?
tomorrow or Sunday, something like that.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a walk around the neighborhood. I like your idea that we talked about earlier about
Chalk.
putting on the gimbal and walking around the
Uh,
neighborhood and getting some, you know,
well,
pics from
well, and that's the whole
installs.
thing. You can all real estate agents could always use stock photos.
Yeah.
Always use stock photos. If you're doing a generic postcard or something like that from a neighborhood, I mean, why not now? It's normally we have to dodge people or wait for people to get out of the way to take pictures. Not a lot of people, the only thing we have to deal with now are more cars parked on the streets and stuff. But other than that, I mean, why not take the time, take the opportunity to take your camera out, take some still shots, I know there's a couple agents who are getting drone shots from, the city and storing them, which is great, because we're going to come out of this and you'll have
Soon.
everything. Yeah.
Do you have any? What's your prediction about
Aftermath.
about us being not going from non-essential to essential? Do you think it'll happen or?
I think that there's a tug of war, and a lot of people I know are putting pressure on PAR, and they're doing the best they possibly can with what they have. They're staying up late at night and they're working through the night. They're, conference call after conference call to try and figure this out. And I completely understand that people are getting frustrated and thinking that they're not doing anything, but they really are, and trying to get that communication out to everybody. I posted something this morning that came from our president, Bill Festa.
Mm-hmm.
They are truly working on it. It doesn't happen just in a day. Um, Unfortunately, the letter that came out from the Department of State was not necessarily what everybody wanted to see,
Right.
but
That said March 6th,
it
right?
was a little backwards. It was a
Yeah.
little backwards, but it's just nothing you can really do about that. You know.
What do you think? What do
I-
you think's going to happen? I was hoping that they would have made us essential by
So
now, but that didn't
there's
give me much hope.
there's also a lot of definition issue. I mean, Pennsylvania we don't have everything that we need as independent contractors. We had agents applying for, unemployment when they shouldn't have been applying for unemployment because they got scared. And I completely understand. You don't want to be behind. If you can receive unemployment, you want to get your application in and get it in as soon as you can. The unfortunate part is that as independent contractors, it was a different application that hasn't even been put out yet.
No, I looked for it actually
So,
I was looking for it today. We filed for the business for being a small business,
right.
but
But that's the SBA. That's a
right.
different type of. Not everybody is, a small business, corp, etc. So it is a little bit
Right.
different.
So where is there a link then?
For not yet.
No, because I was looking for it this morning because you're supposed to be able to file this morning.
Right.
Today's April 10th, right?
Yeah, today's April 10th, and the small business one, I'll send it to you because and if you haven't
For the
call
independent
your
contract.
bank, right? Well, that's for the small business.
I already did that.
Yeah, the independent contractor is different. The independent
For
contractor has not come out yet from the state,
okay,
so
because they
we're not
said
there
that
yet.
they had said that it was going to be open today to apply.
I know, and that's what
Because my
crossed my
husband is
fingers.
it. He's a small. I mean, he's a 1099. He has small, business. So I wanted him to
Mhm.
apply for that. I already took care of, Remax at home stuff, but it's
And this
I
is
mean, it's a
tough.
scary time for all of us, and I just want to say, like, as a community, a real estate community, we have to be able to pull together and work together in order to get through this. I've talked to some people, I don't, several agents, and a lot of people I know really aren't, that I've spoken to, aren't really doing much. And I think that's a mistake. I think you can take the time now to learn new things. I saw Pam, she posted about how she's taken like 5 classes or something. She can like chime in. I think she's still on here.
Yeah, she's there. She wants me to explain the letter. Pam, I wish I had a full explanation of the letter. I mean, there's rumor after rumor out there. I mean, you have the response. Did the response come what we wanted to be? No. It could have been a reaction of what we've been asking for. That's a great possibility because we started asking for explanation of what we can and cannot do. Is this just a delayed reaction? It's not the end of this letter, and it's not the end of the reaction to the letter. So just keep posted, keep your eye on Pennsylvania Association of Realtors sites and your just listed notifications that you get. It's not over. Just to let you know, it's not over.
Yeah, I think that I don't expect that we'll go back to business as normal or as usual. I think, there should be a lot of
And it very
criteria
well
put into
well,
put
and
into
it very
place.
well could be. It's all going to depend on how we're allowed to go back to business. And if it's open up the floodgates, or is it going to be trickling effect?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
you can,
okay, vacant properties can be shown with the
right,
agent opening the door, the buyers going in, things like that.
right.
There's
And
no,
open houses completely off,
I
off the
wouldn't,
shelf for right now,
uh,
until later on. Yeah.
yeah. I told a seller today, she's like, well, open houses. I said, I'm not planning any open houses for any time soon unless they're on Zoom and Facebook. And I mean, even when it does lift, like, I just think for the time being, it's just best not to congregate in that fashion.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, let's think about it. Prior to the shutdown, you could have how many people in a house at one time? How
I
many
mean, I
how
had
many
an,
people would show up?
right. I remember last year I had an open house for 2 hours and I had 65 groups through,
Yeah.
right? And that most of them had more than one person. It was a little, and I had two helpers.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. And Pam, you're asking, do you think the public will be allowed, to have public open houses before a vaccine? I think open houses are going to be off the table for a little while until people feel like we're back to whatever normal is. In
I
my
agree.
opinion, is that I think open houses are going to be, something that's a last resort. I mean, let's be honest. Let's look at the 3D tours again. Let's go back to that. You have a 3D tour of the property. A buyer can walk through the entire house without ever setting foot in it. That could, in fact, get the buyer who was like, "Oh, I really, really want to see this," and when they get there and go, I don't like the way that the kitchen is laid out. I don't like the way the bedroom is laid out, or whatever. Could that get them to be saying, "Oh, I don't want to see the house"? Again, on the flip side, it depends on the 3D tour too, whether or not it's showing everything that it needs to be seen. Um, I have yet to come across one where I look at the pictures and look at the 3D tour and say, "Oh, this is completely off." And I don't know about you, Maria, if you feel that way. I've yet to find one of those.
No, not the real 3D tour. Not,
Right,
I'm not talking, not for a virtual, a real 3D tour. You
right,
really can get a good feeling for the house.
right. And I think
And
that's
if you
going to
can
take
see
some
it's a
buyers.
1,051 square feet, you know, you
Yeah,
can,
yeah. I mean, one of the tours I have, you walk into the closet, turn around, and walk back out of the closet. I mean, you can practically see the size of the clothes.
yeah, you
You
can.
know,
I
so
love them. I think they're fantastic. And I think that you think about relocation, right? Somebody comes in, they're here for 2 days or 3 days. They're moving from LA to Philly or wherever, Chicago, whatever. And they shop for 2 days and they buy a house and then they go back to
yeah,
LA. And then the home inspector does the inspection and they're not there. Nobody goes, the inspector goes. But I talked to one of my, Chris from Liberty Inspections the other day. And
Chris and I went to college together. I have
oh,
photos.
you did. That's so funny. So we talked about him, like them using like a GoPro, right? And doing the whole inspection. And I said, oh, I said, well, you could do that. I said, they don't even really need to come to the inspection if they didn't want to. Say it's like a busy executive or somebody
Mhm.
that didn't have the time. And then they're sent the link. And then everybody can see exactly what it is that happened. It's kind of cool. I think there's a lot of really cool things that are going to come out of this. And I think that uh, it's my hope anyway, that we come closer as a community, whether it's just in well, not just real estate, but as a world, and seeing, everybody's so busy, was so busy doing this, doing that. They didn't take time to do the things that were really important. And, it's my hope that people think about that. And, I don't know if that changes somebody in 3 weeks. But I know I'm embracing a lot of new things and a lot of different things and thinking about even the way that I want to work and I want to do my business and how my role will be moving forward in my company. I've had some time to think about that. And I think that, you know, we know life's short, but I don't think we all get it. And I think that this episode that we're having. I don't want to use the P word because it's like a negative word, but that maybe we will, maybe a lot of good will come.
Well, I would hope so. And Pam, your concern I see is you're trying to learn other things. What else can you do? How about taking to social media, like,
How about this?
embracing that? How about a show like this? Or you talk to buyers constantly and they feel that comfort level with you. What about doing videos? What about doing a buyer class and inviting them to what is it to be a first time home buyer?
The buyer
You know,
webinar.
buyer webinar, you don't even have to, do anything more than where you're at, So it might be time to add on to what you've already been doing, and try and do something like that, which there are plenty of people out there. And I've offered to tap in and show people how, yesterday we were on a GPAR's happy hour and one of the agents asked about a background. I was like, send me your logo. I did the background. I emailed it to her. I said, here you go. Here's a background for you. you know, just because we're all in this together. We might be competitors, but we're colleagues and we're also family. Real estate is a very small community in Philadelphia, even though it's so big.
It's very small.
That GPAR's constantly trying to come up with its classes and things like that to try and keep our agents, up. And there's a couple. I can't tell you who's coming or what they're doing, but keep your eye out for GPAR's notices, because there's quite a few that are going to be pretty darn good that are coming your way. And thanks to, internet and Zoom, everybody can attend, and you don't have to, find parking or take subway or anything. You just log on in the morning with your coffee. So there's quite a few things. And I think we all can help each other. You learn from each other. You absolutely learn from one another. So now's the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there learning, like, one of the things we do is take a look at your finances, right? Take a look at, your financial landscape, your health, your all the things that, oh yeah, I looked at my Amex bill and I'm like, what is this chart? What is this charge? I'm like, why do we even need that? I'm like, get rid of it. Get rid of that. And it was like $100. One thing was $19 and I canceled it because it was worthless. I canceled something else for $25. They came back and they said, I'll give you 3 months free. I was like, okay. So like taking care of little things too, even making like your house, perfect. Like, meaning like no crap laying around.
Well, that's just it. In our family room, we have a pile of clothes and kitchen stuff and, coffee table and end table that it's just been hanging out. We haven't even touched the basement yet. So when this is over, there's going to be a huge donation pile coming to somebody, out there. And I'm trying to find out if there's a location or a place that could use it, home stuff,
The Habitat for Humanity has a home store and they accept, glasses and dishes and.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because I have an IKEA, coffee table that, I bought as is, and it's got a couple dimples on it. And I didn't measure. Everybody should always measure before they buy stuff. In my head, it was going to fit.
Okay. We found curtains that don't go to the floor. And I said, Chip's like, well, what do you want to do with them? I said, okay, I want to get new ones. I said, but do me a favor, hang them up for now, because the ones that we did have there, they were darker. And I was so tired of looking at them. I'm like, we can't take them back. We can then donate them after we get the new ones. We'll give them the Habitat for Humanity. He's actually went through the entire basement, and we have like a storage part. We have a house that's 8 years old, so we have a new construction. So the one part of it under the garage is storage. Then we have a bathroom, and then we have our laundry, and then we have like a whole, basement, like room with TV and all, which is not, it's set up with drum sets and all kinds of other stuff. So I said, he's going through every single box down there, all the Christmas decorations, getting rid of stuff we don't use, organizing everything. He goes, I found pictures of you like with some guy when you were 20 something. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who that was. I didn't even go to look. He's like, yeah. I'm
Oops.
like, stop going through my stuff. But anyway,
Oops.
we're spending time every week to do organization. And every Sunday, I'm taking 3 hours in the morning to go through all my clothes and I'm giving things away. I'm packing up bags of stuff that will be all donated. So there's a lot that we can do that, that a clean and a clean house and non-cluttered house frees your mind.
Oh yeah.
It gives you such like just freeness. It's really crazy because this room that I'm in now, my office, wasn't even habitable. That's a word. A month ago, 3 weeks ago, because there was just crap for 4 years. I'm just like, oh, no, too busy to do that. I don't know.
It was an excuse,
Think back, like,
absolutely.
what were we doing? What
Well,
were
and
we doing?
that's the whole no, all right, now I have to be completely honest because my husband, he can't watch this later, but he has gone through all of his clothes and cleaned out all of his clothes, and now it's my turn, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I have really good intention. And then virtual showings happened, and now I'm back to this part. But we have cleaned out a lot. I cleaned out all my jewelry beforehand, so bagged all of that up in individual Ziplocs, so all the pieces are together. And then my next thing was to go into the clothes, but then business kept moving, even though business was what stopped, but business kept moving. So now I'm
No,
back to the same thing.
I am too. It's extremely busy. We have a lot of clients we're servicing. I had a call with someone today. She's like, I want to sell, I want to buy, I want to get out
Mm,
of this house. It's too big. And they're out in the burbs and they sit on 6 acres. And
that is a lot.
yeah, and she wants to go to a smaller house. And she's like, well, how can we do it? I'm like, we are the experts, so we're experienced and we're gonna get you through this. But people still want to do stuff. So you have to be able to just look. I always had human, real conversations with people, and I'm transparent and I'm not a good sugar coater of stuff. So I'm, I, I've always been direct. And I think that, just being honest and direct and having, a caring approach with people goes a really, really, really long way. And that's what business should have always been. And I think that, sometimes we get caught up in um, other stuff that's not important and focusing on what's really important right now and making sure that, your family is good. We had a death in our family. My great uncle
I'm
died on
sorry.
Wednesday. Um, they don't know if it was COVID or not. He was very old, but he was 101,
Ooh,
but he was in very good health up until 3 days before that. And they had checked his oxygen levels and they were low, and then they think he got pneumonia. And so he's in 45 minutes from Milan in a small city called Piacenza. So it's been, you know, you have that too, right?
life goes on. Life
You
doesn't
don't know
stop.
what people are going through, and you have to remember that. You don't know, you're going to call somebody, they may be sick. We spoke with somebody yesterday, they have the virus, and they're sick. They answered the phone and we said, "Oh, how are you feeling?" They're like, "Well, not feeling okay." Well, what can we do for you? Is there anything that you need that we can get? And pray for the people. And um we had other clients that they both had it, and they're both better now. One had it for 3 weeks, one had it for 2 weeks. We've talked to many people, and a couple other clients that also had gotten it. So it's like you really need to be just a caring person right
Like,
now, and actually that's how
always,
it should always be.
always be a caring person.
But Heather, come on, let's be real. You
Sometimes,
talk to people and people don't even remember to say like good morning or good night or hi. It's like, can I get the info on that house?
well, and that's what I'm hoping comes out of this is where people take that time, and it's, take that time, say, how you doing? How's everything going? And we've always seen that within different generations of our clients. Like there's some generations where you got to get right to the point, or some personalities where you have to get right to the point. And I've always said that I think real estate agents are chameleons. We are chameleons. We change and adapt to our clientele. And you
Yes.
might have somebody, you could walk into a property and you sit down and there is no business being spoken
Yes.
until personal connection has been made. You've eaten something, you've drank something,
Yep.
you've talked about, the weather and people and everything. And business is not done until business is ready to be done.
Ready
Then
to
there's some where you just go right in, and you can tell by someone that they are just strictly, let's just get down to this. What is it? What's the bottom line? So as real
we have
estate
to
agents,
lead
we
by,
adapt.
yeah, we have to go by what they want to do. I
Hmm.
mean, some people want to get right to it, and some people, they want to talk about whatever they want to talk about, right?
Well, my favorite is when you have multiple people and each one has a different personality for how they want to handle business.
So
You
you
know,
have a driver and you have the amiable, and the amiable wants to show you all the things in the house and how they built this beautiful pool and backyard, and the driver's like, can we like get to it here? Like,
yep.
yeah,
And you have to be
adapting
prepared.
to
Yeah.
adapting. I think you
So,
have to be.
and that's why I think real estate agents, we're going to come out of this, and we're going to come out of this better than we went into it, because we're going to learn to adapt to more. We're going to learn to adapt to the changes that have happened and the things that have come in. So, if you think about it, when you talk about age in real estate, it's not how old you are that says on your driver's license. When you talk about age in real estate, it's the year that is on your real estate license. Because you can have somebody who is 50, 60 years old who just got their license, is just learning the business now. Then there's someone like you and I. We've been in this for a while. We remember what it was like back then, but we're not that, we're not that old. I'm 26 years old, if anybody asks. But that's the whole thing. Our real estate age is different. So we learn something from every cycle. And the agents who got into the business after 2008 and after the housing boom, during that recession, you're now going to be pointing to this and what we went through here when you talk in the future, when you talk about what it was like in real estate and how you did business differently. Just like how we talked about how we did business differently from 2000 to 2011 or 12, what the difference was, how we adapted to not sleeping and showing properties. And back then in 2000 to 2007, how many houses did you sell sight unseen? How many houses did you sell that where, buyers just bought it right off of photographs? And at that time, I mean, I don't even think we had 20. Do we have 25 photographs at that time? I remember there was like, you
We
only
did
could
not.
load so many and it had to have pixels.
I think it
And
was 12.
yeah, it was something like that. And I always go back to old listings and I look and I'm like, oh, that was back in the day, because the photograph is like this big.
Yeah, you see like the little tiny photograph.
Yeah. So the agents that have their licenses now are going to talk about what we're going through in this level in a couple years from now, and how they survived and what they did, what they did differently to the agents that come in 2022 and 24 and 26 and 28. It's weird to say those years, by the way. It feels
It's
really weird.
what year were you licensed?
I got licensed in 1996. So 1996. I feel so real estate old.
I was selling advertising in 1996.
Yeah. So I pretty much, and I can't say it wasn't a choice. My parents never forced real estate on me, but it was more along the lines of, listen, you can go work for, a restaurant or bar or wherever you want to work, or you can work here at the real estate company. And it was a lot. The commute was easier. I knew who I was going to be working with.
You
So,
think
yeah.
it was nice?
Hi, Ryan. Yeah, it was nice. And Pam, I have no idea I have a bunch of stuff to donate, and I don't know what it's going to be like during, like, I haven't called anybody because I feel like I want to get it all together, and I don't know who's going to come pick it up, or what protocol we'll have to do to donate. I'm not
Yeah.
quite
So we're
sure.
packing it up, and then when it's when we're able to, we're going to donate it to Habitat is one, and then there's a couple other. One is for working wardrobe for women. The
Ooh,
other
that's a
one
good
is,
one.
yeah, the other one's for is Year Up. I'm a board member of that nonprofit organization, and we'll be donating business attire to them as well, both men and women's clothing.
Oh, I'll keep you posted because I'll get the information for that because that's my next closet to go through is all my business stuff. You
Yeah, it's
know.
like how can we give back and to the community and what we're doing? Like,
Well, actually, I have tons of jewelry, so
yeah, they
maybe
would stuff you never wear, right? Costume jewelry and stuff.
costume jewelry that either I've worn or I don't wear anymore. So that's a good spot.
Yeah, that's great. And they, especially for Year Up, they're young adults from 18 to 24. And difficult for them too because they can't it's out of Pierce College and they're now having
Oh,
to do it online, and a lot of them come from, you know, urban areas, like mainly they're mostly from North Philly, and being at home isn't really the
right.
best
It's not a
spot.
good
I
spot.
mean, it's a big challenge. You think we have challenges in real estate? I mean, this is life and death challenges for these kids. I'm going to be on with Steve Evans on Tuesday. He'll be my guest to learn more about what's going on with Europe and how to be the solution for them. And I think that's, Heather, it's like everything that we're talking about is like being the solution, right? Like for your neighbor down the street and giving a happy birthday. For, the people that didn't have, maybe you deliver them some food because it's one person living there, or you just going by and you're waving hi because we haven't seen anybody, or it's helping out somebody else, like you jumped on and you helped them in their background, all those things. It's like that's about being the solution, and what can we do to contribute back that that we have. We already You already have that, you have that skill, so how can you help, or what little things can you do? And it's not about doing big grand gestures, it's about the little things. And I find you get the most gratitude, from the little things, right?
And I always am one. My father was always a very generous person with his time and his money and his talents, and I learned that from him. So anytime anybody ever wants any information, I'm always an open book. You can always call me. Hey Heather, I don't understand what this is all about. What's this? What do we do about this? I'm always open to helping out and say, listen, we're in this together. So I never, and a lot of people think that because of, I sit on certain committees and things like that, that they're fearful. And I always want to take it as a learning opportunity and an education opportunity, that if I come across something, somebody did an agreement to sell, like, hey, you might, want to do it this way. It's a little bit different. And here's the reason why, just in my opinion, or if I see something on that they're doing, like, hey, you might not want to do that. And you might want to check with this because of this, take it as a learning opportunity. Don't take it as, I don't like when you complain about it. Did you try and go to that person first and say, yo, what's up with this? Because what we've
They
all
might
learned
not
is
know.
they might not have any idea. And there's two sides to every story. There always is.
100%.
There always is. So they might not understand that what they're doing is not the way it's supposed to be done because there are rules. Hey, did you think about this? Just to give you a heads up before somebody else says something to you, this, and this. And people may not know. And it's how you learn. We learned in the real estate industry. I mean, how many washers and dryers or refrigerators or TV, wall mounts did you purchase in your career? If you haven't purchased one, then you aren't living right.
I think we purchased one of something like in like 2010,
Yeah,
something, and it wasn't like the best time to be purchasing something. I think it was a dryer or something. It was a credit we for maybe $400, but
right. And
shame on us, right?
but here's the thing, you learn
You
from your
learn
experiences, and if
a
something
hundred.
that I've gone through can help somebody else not have to go through that, why am I going to keep it to myself? You know, and in my CE classes, I'm an open book. My husband, when I come home, he goes, "All right, so how many stories did you tell about me today?" And I'm like, "What? Who, me? Maybe." But it's true. It's because that's how my life experience is. When I first got in the business, yeah, I always tell people, to give advice, like, what is your advice to somebody starting out in real estate? And my advice to them is separate your finances. Separate your finances, your personal from your business, so that way you have, at the end of the year, you have a clear direction as to how much you spent and where you're spending it, and you can watch it, because sometimes we get too busy. You don't get a chance to look at the most recent statement that came in, and then you have to separate it out on QuickBooks or something. It's helpful at the very beginning when you set up that separate card for, this card is specifically used just to do business transactions, and such. So,
Or also setting up themselves as an LLC.
well, and that's,
You could do that.
you could do that too, and
You
it's
could
it's
do like I'm an employee of my company. I'm a
so
W,
am I.
right?
So am I.
So I don't want to play that in self-employment tax twice. I made those mistakes back in the day.
Right, but if you could take that information and bottle it up and give it to somebody else so they don't make that same mistake.
Yes.
From when my very first part of my career, I didn't know what it was like to file on April 15th. What? I
Yeah.
thought I thought the extension date was the date to file.
October 15th.
What? Doesn't everybody file in October? Yeah, but by that time I'm already behind the April because. But yeah, so it's
There's
more along the
nothing
lines of
worse than
give it
having
back.
to write a humongous check
Oh,
and
we've
not
all
being
been
prepared
there.
for it.
We've all been
I know
there.
you learn a lot. I mean, I'm like you. Like, I'm happy to any information. You know what? Sometimes you don't even know what you don't know.
Right. And you don't know until you ask or you start talking to somebody. And I'm always, and I've had a couple agents come to me, we just shoot the breeze. Just shoot the breeze. Whatever you want to talk about. Like, how's it going? How are you doing? What's happening in your life? What's going on? Hey, have you thought about trying this instead? And vice versa. And I've learned off of them too, you know? And I mean, I've been talking about buying a gimbal for like forever because I was doing too much research. And finally somebody said, just why don't you just pull the trigger? Like, what are you waiting for? So now I have
So
it.
I have one, and I don't use it. Right. So it's like,
Well, you have to learn. I've watched YouTube videos on how to make sure it is balanced.
no, I use. Where is it?
What are you using?
Well, I have my selfie stick
Oh, your
thing,
selfie stick?
but it's really long. It's like two
Maria,
feet.
a selfie stick. That is so, what year? 2000?
I know. Well, that's how I do that. Shoot my little videos, and I
Oh,
stand there and I go like this, and then I just da 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 da,
oh, Maria. When
and
this
then
is
we
over,
upload it. It can go to BombBomb or Mailchimp,
right?
or you can send it out. If you can send it to rev.com and have it transcribed if you're doing it at AdLib,
Nice.
not content written. There's like a lot of little tools. I know this is basic. I have the gimbal somewhere. It's at the office, I think. I'm going to have Chip pick it up. But this little basic thing still works.
Well, you know what? Maybe you need to do a webinar on doing
All
videos,
this stuff,
Maria.
I should do it. I should do one.
I
Jenna,
think you
if you're
should.
listening, write that down.
Jenna, write that down. Jenna, can you write some stuff down for me too? Can I have Jenna for a day?
No, so this whole thing is going to be transcribed. We're sending it. It'll be sent to Rev. It'll be transcribed, and then we're going to provide you the transcription.
Oh
And it
boy.
also will be on my podcast. So starting next week, All the B Solutions is now will be a podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, will they pick up the Philly accent? That's what I just want to know. I, I just need to know.
Yours isn't bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad
You think mine's bad?
no, my husband says it gets bad when I get mad and I have an attitude.
Oh, well, then that's understandable. But
Uh,
normally, speaking in how you are, you don't sound like you have a heavy Philly accent at all.
no, but the funny thing is, anytime I'm talking to somebody, they're like, "What part of South Philly are you from?" I'm like, "I'm not.
Oh, everybody, that's because
I'm
you're
not from
Italian.
South Philly." Yeah.
They think I'm from South Philly too. I grew up in the Northeast.
Say I'm Northwest. I'm Northwest all the way.
So,
Oh,
but I've been
I
down
think
south.
Jenna said yes. I can have Jenna Jenna? I think. Did you agree that I can have you for a
What?
date?
Absolutely not. I'm not. That's not one thing I'm not sharing. I already have to share her.
But Jenna,
So
it's so
this
much
was
fun
great.
here in the brick wall.
You're so funny. This was great today. I really enjoy Heather having you on. You have a great spirit and you have
We
such
look at
a positive outlook and you're a very caring person. And I'm grateful that you're my friend.
me too. And if you ever look at our names, we have similar
I know.
endings.
People would always say Quattrone. I'm like, no, that's Heather. I'm Maria Quattrone.
Quattrone. See? Well, Maria, anytime you want to sit down and chat, I'm always up for it. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, you
Everything's virtual.
virtual Zoom.
That's right. Virtual Zoom. I'm open. I'm open. I'm gonna get some fresh air today now that it's like 42 degrees outside.
Yeah, now you're gonna go out.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
on the
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, yesterday when the sun was shining, I got out for a couple minutes, and now today I have a little bit more time to get out, and I'm gonna freeze my tuchus off.
Just bundle up.
Well, I've got to get my mask out
Oh, right. And the
yeah,
gloves.
and my gloves, so I have to find out where I put it. I think I put it in the wash. I don't know. I haven't been outside with too far away from my home.
No, I haven't been out with the mask and gloves yet because I haven't been out. So
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
maybe
But
today. Maybe today will be the day because I have to go chalk. I have to go graffiti.
you got to go do the chalk for sure.
I got to go graffiti. Oh, and I'm bringing my microphone
Oh,
and my megaphone so I can sing happy birthday from the street like a lunatic. So
that is very cute. You should actually have your husband video that.
no, he wants nothing to do with me when I do these things. He wants to be as far away from me. It's almost like when I start negotiating at stores, he just walks away. He just walks away.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the solution.
I can't wait to read the Philly transcript.
And we'll get you that, early next week and the link as well. And I hope that you and your family have a wonderful Easter, a blessed one.
As
And
you as well, and everybody out there.
yes,
Everybody out there, happy Passover, happy Easter.
happy Passover, happy Easter. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon.
This is the worst heart ever, but love one another.
I can't even do it. I'm like,
Love one another.
thanks, Heather. We'll
All
see
right,
you
see you
soon.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.